start the show.
Hi, Sabrina. Welcome to Yarn on the House.
Hi, thank you for having me.
It's so nice for you to be here with us today. Why don't you tell the followers what you do and what you're all about?
Well, we hand dye luxury yarn and spinning fiber. We focus currently on semi-solid colorways. We have over 50 colorways currently, and I think 12 lines of yarn, and lots and lots and lots of different types of spinning fiber. So that's what we're doing mostly right now. And we're getting ready for stitches, which is crazy soon.
Oh yes, but lots of fun, I'm sure.
So much fun.
That's exciting. And so you have some beautiful, beautiful colorways. I mean, you're so good at the semi-solid stuff. That's your thing. Stick with that. Where does all your inspiration come from for it?
Well, it kind of just comes from all over the place. I'm constantly grabbing inspiration from like nature and people. Yeah. With our spinning fiber, we dye color themes. So I was recently dyeing garden, and my mother-in-law has the most beautiful garden, and so I was really grasping a lot of inspiration from her recently. So that's just kind of whoever's inspiring me in my life currently.
Yeah, that's nice. Your colorways are very wearable. They're beautiful colors. They're not, they're very saturated and totally all about nature. All those beautiful colors that you see in nature, you can definitely see in your yarn.
And that's what's so important to me, is that the colors need to be something that's realistic for you to be able to use.
Right.
Sometimes you see yarn out there that it's great colorways, but
you wouldn't put it on.
Yeah. Especially when I'm dyeing like spinning fiber. I'm thinking about the final product, not just the fiber. Yeah. How the colors are going to work together when they're spun up. If somebody's going to spin striping yarn, or if somebody's going to spin variegated, you still want the colors to be able to work together. So I think about that a lot as I'm putting the colors together.
Yeah, that's great. We appreciate that as consumers, because you're the talented one with the dyeing process, so you need to give us what's gonna come out as a nice final product. So that's exciting. How long have you been spinning?
I learned to spin when I was 21. Okay. For my 21st birthday, actually, and I'm about to turn 29. So, yeah, a while. It's, I guess, 8 years now.
Yeah.
And I actually started this process right before my 19th birthday. So it'll be 10 years in December that this whole creative journey has begun.
Yeah, that was my next question, is how did you get into dyeing yarn and spinning and all of this?
It actually started with crocheting. I was just kind of fell into it because I was bored at my mom's house and started crocheting. I hadn't crocheted since I was like 5 or 6.
Yeah.
And was making, when you start a hobby and you have 100 hats and you can't wear 100 hats. So my local yarn shop and a local record store started selling my hats. Okay. And I was making shawls and all kinds of fun stuff. We moved to the Bay Area, and I was doing farmers markets up there. And I started that way, and then slowly got into the yarn and dyeing yarn and spinning yarn, and yeah, it's just been a long evolution.
Yeah, so you started with crochet. That's a common story. I hear that from a lot of knitters, is that they got taught how to crochet, and it kind of went from there. Their textile and yarn obsessions grew.
It's fun.
So, for the folks that are looking to try their hand at dyeing yarn, do you have a piece of advice for them?
Well, just play. Throw colors together and don't worry too much about the final product in the beginning, because even when the colors, you're not sure if the color is going to work, and it ends up being your least favorite thing, it'll probably be your best friend's favorite colorway.
Right.
So just don't be afraid and just play with it. Put color on yarn, put color on fiber, and run with it.
That's great. That's a great piece of advice. So what's next for you? Do you have some new colors coming out or in the works that you can tell us about?
We just came out. We just came back from TNA, which is a wholesale show, and we have 6 new colorways, including the perfect black and the perfect red.
Ooh, that's great.
I actually have them right here.
Yes, show us.
one red shoe is the perfect red in my opinion. I love it.
Wow.
I don't know how well the camera's going to pick it up, but
you can still kind of see the color when you put it up against your white shirt. You can definitely see it. Yeah. How pretty. It's like lipstick red.
Oh, it's, yeah, red.
Yeah.
Then the perfect true black is just black, solid black.
Solid
And
black.
that's the name of the colorway, black.
That's my best friend. Like every girl, right?
Yes, you need a good black. And
Always.
sometimes in yarn it's hard to find, especially in hand dyed, it's hard to find a good black or red.
Yeah, very hard. So will you be dyeing both of those colors in all your lines?
Yeah, all of our lines have the same 50 plus colorways.
Oh, cool.
And all the lines take them a little differently.
Right.
Mermaid and Sebastian and Oasis take them a bit softer. And then all the cashmere lines take them much more deep and strong.
That's really interesting. That's kind of neat to see the different colorways and the different lines and the different fibers too. So I always like to ask, why do you knit?
I can't not knit. And sometimes it helps me to not kill people.
Yeah. I agree.
Like, if I'm in line at the post office, which it can be a really long line sometimes, I'm just sitting there knitting. Going to parties, I'm always usually at the party knitting, and people know to expect it. I've actually had a lot of non-knitting friends. If I forget to bring my knitting, they're like, Sabrina, where's your knitting? Are you feeling okay? But I just love it. I love creating. I love, mostly, I'm so in my own head that I have trouble following other people's patterns sometimes.
Okay.
So I usually just create my own patterns.
That's fun too, though. That's good.
Yeah. There's usually if like I'm doing a ruffle scarf right now, and a lot of designers have ruffle scarves, so I'll just probably link to somebody else's ruffle scarf, even though I'm not specifically knitting theirs.
Right. You make changes, but you kind of give people an idea of where the inspiration might come from. Yeah. Good. Cool. So how did you learn to knit, and when did you learn to knit? Who taught you?
I think I was also 19 when I learned to knit. Our local yarn shop, which unfortunately isn't around any longer, was Ancient Pathways. And Meg, the owner there, it was kind of like an osmosis process. Everybody I was always crocheting, and everybody was like, oh, you need to knit. Knitting's so much better. It's like, ever. Crocheting's the best. So just slowly, people would put it in my hands and say, just do it. You can do it.
Just try it, yeah.
And so I would knit, and I actually didn't learn to purl until I was 24 or 25.
Oh, wow. So you're just knitting.
Yeah. Well, actually, it was crocheting mostly.
Yeah.
And then when we moved back to Fresno, I finally was like, I'm going to learn to purl.
Yeah.
And it was like every week or every month I had a new skill I was doing. I did a sweater and threw cables in.
Isn't that the truth? It's like as soon as you learn both those stitches, you're off.
Exactly.
You just fly. It's all about, somebody mentioned in the Ravelry group, my Ravelry group, that it's all about just the knits and purls. So that's all they are.